Note that the assembled code is binary compatible with the Intel 8080 and 8085 CPUs. 1000, 1000, 1078, 1001 B1, 1002 C8, 1003 1AM, 1004 77, 1005 13, 1006 23, 1007 0B, 1008 C30010, 100B. MEMP. Copy a block of memory from one location to another. Entry registers. BC, number of bytes to copy. D, address of source data block. HL, address of target data block. Return registers. BC, 0. ORG 1000H, origin at 1000H. MEMP public. Loop LDAB, test BC. Or C, if BC equals 0. Ret Z, return. LDA, D, loader from, D. LD, HL, A, store into, HL. Inc D, increment D. Inc HL, increment HL. December BC, decrement BC. JP loop, repeat the loop. End. Instruction execution. Each instruction is executed in steps that are usually termed machine cycles, M cycles, each of which can take between 3 and 6 clock periods, T states. 39. Each M cycle corresponds roughly to one memory access or internal operation. Many instructions actually end during the M1 of the next instruction, which is known as a fetch /execute overlap. Examples of typical instructions R equals read, W equals write. Total cyclist states instruction 1 M2 M3 M4 M5 M6 1 40 4 1 ink bot code 2 41 7 add an opcode and 3 42 11 add LD opcode internal internal 4 43 15 set B HL prefix opcode R HL set W HL 5 44 19 LD 9 plus D prefix opcoded NAD W 9 plus D 6 45 23 ink IY plus D prefix opcoded add R IY plus D ink W IY plus D. The Z80 machine cycles are sequenced by an internal state machine which builds each M cycle out of 3, 4, 5 or 6 T states depending on context. This avoids cumbersome asynchronous logic and makes the control signals behave consistently at a wide range of clock frequencies. It also means that a higher frequency crystal must be used than without this subdivision of machine cycles, approximately 2-3 times higher. It does not imply tighter requirements on memory access times, since a high-resolution clock allows more precise control of memory timings, and so memory can be active in parallel with the CPU to a greater extent, allowing more efficient use of available memory bandwidth. One central example of this is that, for a code fetch, the Z80 combines 2 full clock cycles into a memory access period, the M1 signal. In the Z80 this signal lasts for a relatively larger part of the typical instruction execution time than in a design such as the 6800, 6502, or similar, where this period would typically last 30 to 40% of a clock cycle. With memory chip affordability, i.e. access times around 450 to 250 ns in 1980s, typically determining the fastest possible access time. This meant that such designs were locked to significantly longer clock cycle, i.e. lower internal clock speed, than the Z80. Memory was generally slow compared to the state machine subcycles, clock cycles, used in contemporary microprocessors. The shortest machine cycle that could safely be used in embedded designs has therefore often been limited by memory access times, not by the maximum CPU frequency, especially so during the home computer era. However, this relation has slowly changed during the last decades, particularly regarding SRAM, cashless, single-cycle designs such as the Z80 have therefore become much more meaningful recently. The content of the refresh register R is sent out on the lower half of the address bus along with the refresh control signal while the CPU is decoding and executing the fetched instruction. During refresh, the contents of the interrupt register I are sent out on the upper half of the address bus. 46. Compatible peripherals. Zilog introduced a number of peripheral parts for the Z80, which all support the Z80's interrupt handling system and I/O address space. These include the counter/timer channel, CTC, 47, the SIO, serial input-output, the DMA, direct memory access, the PIO, parallel input-output, and the DAT, dual asynchronous receiver transmitter. As the product line developed, low power, high speed and CMOS versions of these chips were introduced. PIO Z84C 2008, CTC Z84C 3008, SIO Z84C 4008. Like the 8080, 8085 and 8086 processors, but unlike processors such as the Motorola 6800 and MOS Technology 6502, the Z80 and 8080 has a separate control line and address space for I/O instructions. While some Z80-based computers such as the Osborne one used Motorola-style memory-mapped input/output devices, usually the I/O space was used to address one of the many Zilog peripheral chips compatible with Z80. Zilog I/O chips supported the Z80's new Mode 2 interrupts, which simplified interrupt handling for large numbers of peripherals. The Z80 was officially described as supporting 16-bit, 64 kilobytes, memory addressing, and 8-bit, 256 ports, I/O addressing. All I/O instructions actually assert the entire 16-bit address bus. Out, C, reg and in reg, C, places the contents of the entire 16-bit BC register on the address bus winking sad smiley 38, out, N, and in O, N, places contents of the A register on B8 B15 of the address bus and N on B0 B7 of the address bus. A designer could choose to decode the entire 16-bit address bus on I/O operations in order to take advantage of this feature, or use the high half of the address bus to select sub-features of the I/O device. This feature has also been used to minimize decoding hardware requirements, such as in the Amstrad CPC/PCW and ZX81. Second sources and derivatives. Second sources. Mostek, which produced the first Z80 for Zilog, offered it as second source as MK3880. SGS Thomson, now ST Microelectronics, was a second source, too, with their Z8400. Sharp and NEC developed second sources for the MOS Z80, the LH0080 and PD780C, respectively. The LH0080 was used in various home computers and personal computers made by Sharp and other Japanese manufacturers, including Sony MSX computers, and a number of computers in the Sharp MZ series. 48. Toshiba made a CMOS version, the TMP-Z84C00, which is believed, but not verified, to be the same design also used by Zilog for its own CMOS Z84C00. There were also Z80 chips made by Gold Star, now LG, and the BU18400 series of Z80 clones, including DMA, PIO, CTC, DART and SIO, INMOS and CMOS made by ROM Electronics. In East Germany, an unlicensed clone of the Z80, known as the U880, was manufactured. It was very popular and was used in Robotrons and VEB microelectronic Mulhausen's computer systems, such as the KC85 series, and also in many self-made computer systems. In Romania another unlicensed clone could be found, named MMN80 CPU and produced by Microelectronica, used in home computers like TIM-S, HC Cobra. Also, several clones of Z80 were created in the Soviet Union, notable ones being the T-34BM1, also called 18581, paralleling the Soviet 8080 clone KR580VM80. The first marking was used in pre-production series, while the second had to be used for a larger production. Though, due to the collapse of Soviet microelectronics.
Yes, small break again. I think that would be very hard to find these clones. I have to download something about this, but I'm not going to hunt for that. Probably you can find it if you look second-hand papers in Russia and Romania, but I'm not going to go crazy and start to hunting down CPU clones from the Eastern Europe and Russia from the 1980s. But you never know, I have to know stuff like that because I'm going to collecting this old CPUs. I need to know what clone is available. But I'm getting today, I will getting the ADM, the 8088. That's made by AMD in the start of the 1980s by official license by Intel, because Intel give AMD the rights to produce the 8086, the 8088 and the 286. But they reworked it, took this permission back a few years after, I think that's in 1984. And I have read about that, so I have to read about this AMD 8088 chips. We need to have that because I'm going to the mail office later today and get it. So I need to know the history behind the chips. I need it for, I'm going to start this personally computer history museum. To start, try to start a Danish personally computer history museum, Denmark. So I like to do that, but I not really know how my life is. I have all this debt and just sitting here alone every day. So, but I just start to collect something old CPUs. No, that's my notes. I'm thinking to do a PC museum. You could make a PC museum, and it could be a workshop for school, from the public school. The young ones can go there and learn how to build a computer. You can have a PC workshop, how to build your own PC. And I don't know what, but I don't have, my life is stupid and I don't have I have this debt and I don't have the money, really have the money. But I can just start to do a sign, personally computer history museum, Denmark. Or just personally computer history museum. So I don't know how, just make a sign like this. Yes, personally computer history museum. I think it needs to be 2 lines because all the sign need to be super long. the sign will need to be like super long sign like this. So we need to do it, I don't know, I will do that. That's actually somebody made this for me just for fun. That's some 3D prints. Because I did start to an action. I did that when I start my videos in old days. I did like this. An action. Welcome to Monko TV. I'm John, an old YouTuber and PC gamer. I did start my video, but my life gets stupid the last minute years, so I'm not in mood to. I don't have a fun day. I'm just getting up in the morning, super sleepy and low on money. But normally I did that. In action. Hello and welcome back. I'm John, an old YouTuber and PC gamer. So, but I'm not in mood for that because my life been so stupid the many years. There's just debt and debt and debt. Every month I'm just paying all my money to debt and debt. Months after months, years after years, been like 6 years. And next year will be like 7 years. Next year, February, that will be 7 years I have paid this stupid debt. So, but next year, the 1st May, I have 2 loans is finished. This is a timeline with debts. So next year I'm there. I'm end of the timeline, but I don't know if I'm alive. 1 year is long time. And I've been sitting here many years, this apartment. So I could just, if I just watching Netflix, I could do this. I could learn something than just sitting watching Netflix, all kind of movies and series. I'm watching Star Trek, the old Star Trek right now. So I'm spending a lot of time to look on Netflix, but actually I could learn something to read this than just sitting watching some random movies on Netflix. But I need time to do that too, of course. I need time to relax and watch Netflix and play a computer game or to take a walk. Yes, but now it's 11:30 and now I record 2 hours. Actually this camcorder will run out of power in half an hour. I don't think we can finish this, but I will try to download some of this link just for fun, because this I need to know that some clones, they maybe have a PDF on the Wikipedia, stuff like this. So I need to look that later if I remember to do that. Like the 8086, the Intel 8086 have some clones in the Soviet too. Yes, continue.
In the late 1980s, there are many more T34BM1S than 18581S. Most Z80, MK3880, NEC PD780C, Sharp LH0080, Toshiba Z84C00, East Germany RFT.
Yes, they are making this clones. The old chip, the 8086, they have some kind of clones. The Mustang, I think that's the original. Sharp, that's a Japanese. That's from clone from East Germany. But somebody collect that, and if I see, I need to maybe if I find it, I will buy it. So I need to know how they look like if I find it. If I find it like just $20, some stupid low price, of course I just buy it. But I don't think that they're not easy to find, all these old chips. and all kind of clones from the 1980. I think you'll not find it very easy second hands. Yes, let's just continue.
U880D. Soviet T-34BM1 Z80 clone. Derivatives. Compatible with the original Z80, Hitachi developed the HD 64180